Hello and welcome back. This is Ask Floh, and I am here to answer your questions about cyber hygiene. So today's question comes from Dan in Dallas, and he asks, I heard that SMS 2FA is insecure. Should I still be using 2FA for my stuff at work? That's a great question. So the very short answer is yes. The longer answer is about, what is 2FA, two-factor authentication, how does it work, and how can some forms of it be better and worse than others? So let's discuss some of the different ways that you can do two-factor authentication. So there's SMS, there's also the Authenticator app, such as Google Authenticator or Authy, or there are a few others as well, and that's the sort of rotating number. And then there's also a push notification based one, which is very similar. And then additionally, there's the two-factor authentication key, such as a YubiKey, or there are some other types as well. And so the thing about all these things is they're really designed for the purpose of two-factor authentication, whereas SMS is just kind of a convenient vehicle that could be used for that, but it's sort of an afterthought. And so it's very much not perfect. And the reason for that is that the provider of the service, of the security service, is actually not a security company. It's not someone who has as their main business model making sure that this channel is secure. So specifically, that's the telecommunications company. And it's been proven time and time again that it is actually not that hard to compromise someone's phone number and therefore gain access to their SMS that are meant for two-factor authentication. So that said, that still means that someone really has to go the extra mile. Whereas if you don't have two-factor authentication at all, it's a lot easier for you to be a victim of a sort of massive breach on a service. And if your password is bad, even more so. So two-factor authentication, regardless of the form, really provides an extra step that an attacker has to overcome. And the thing about security is that it's always about cost. So if for the attacker, the cost of having to deal with the telecommunications company is actually just too high for the value of the data that they would be getting, then they're just going to leave it be, right? So that just, it's worth it in that sense. And in practice, there are a lot of reasons why, if you're at a really big company, it is probably impractical for your IT director to roll out an app, especially if people's phones aren't controlled by the company, if everyone has their own device, and then getting them to install an app is a bit of a pain. And there are sort of practical reasons why you might end up with SMS being the most viable solution for two-factor authentication. And if that's the case, still use it. It's still better than nothing. But if you can, then do go for one of the other options. Get a YubiKey, use Authy or Google Authenticator, or one of these other applications that does the job. All right, I hope that was helpful. Take care, and I will see you next time.